We're on air. Welcome into True Bants, I think episode 11. A grand old time. We're having a grand old time. I'm joined by Space Trucker. Flame had work, so we don't
I'm
have him here. We're only here with Space Trucker for about 30 minutes. This might be the shortest episode we do because I just tried to record a True Bants by myself and I think I drove myself insane.
well, I'm sorry you got subjected to that.
I ended up going on a tangent about uh, stupid how stupid the Uncharted movie was for uh, having Tom Holland instead of Nathan Fillion.
Well, see,
Oh man! All right, Trucker muted. Yeah, so here's
sorry, somebody tried calling me just now. There are so many things I didn't like about that movie that I just don't talk about it.
OBS is acting up now. Great.
It doesn't like me very much, I guess.
I cannot get it to select the scene that I'm actually on.
They're just and see what kills me is there are very few video game to movie adaptations that are good. Like some of the Laura Croft movies were fine, but they weren't great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uncharted would have been infinitely better had they not tried to tell the story from a younger Nathan Drake's perspective. And it just kind of ruined it for me, you know?
yeah, just to show the viewers what I'm talking about. So that's Nathan Drake, right? That's him. That's Tom Holland. This is Nathan Fillion. You see the problem? I'll do it again. This is Nathan Drake, Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. You can see there's zero resemblance no matter how hard Hollywood tried. And then this is Nathan Fillion, who is a spitting image of Nathan Drake. The silliest thing of all time. Yeah, I was talking about Bioshock 4 too, and that was a disaster. Bioshock 4, they've announced, sort of. It kind of leaked, and of course, the one article I found on it just tells you it exists. It's like, cool. Every game studio that ever writes an article or any like gaming gaming journalists suck. They're just absolute morons, brain dead as all hell.
They're just too many bad attempts and too many attempts that never should have been made. You know, it's just like, why are you doing this to us type stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't understand game journalists. It's like they wheel these people out of a box and they've never experienced the world before, and then they complain about something that doesn't make sense, and then they just go away, or they write like a clickbait title and they're like, this game is bad because it's too hard, and then they talk about how the game actually isn't hard, and you're like, why did anybody pay you to write this? Were they stupid too?
Probably.
Yeah, the weird thing about doing a True Bants here is we can't talk about current events. We can talk about the fact that we all interrupted the hell out of each other a bunch in episode 42 because of True Realms, because everybody was having internet problems. So we didn't know the other person was talking, so we apologized for that. There's nothing we can do about it. And we can
I'm
also.
thinking I'm thinking there was some shenanigans going on with like a lot of companies' Wi-Fi and probably some other things.
Probably because of residuals from CrowdStrike shit in the bed. But I also want to talk to you, TW. For whatever reason, Google has randomly selected you for community guideline notices and has been suppressing your comments. And we're not sure why because we didn't tell them to do it. We like your comments. So, unfortunately, if you haven't been hearing any of your questions being asked, it's because YouTube has randomly selected you to be the new person that we see nothing from instead of Thunder. Because for a while we couldn't get any of Thunder's comments, and I don't know how to fix this. The new Twister movie came out.
I haven't really heard anything good about it.
That sucks because I really love the old one, and of course they can't do anything with the old one because old Bill Paxton's dead, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Such a great movie. It terrified the hell out of me as a kid, but I still loved it.
I was more bothered by I don't want to say that.
Probably best you
I
don't.
was I was more bothered by some of the implication, like it seemed to want to indicate that those particular weather phenomena are sentient to a degree.
Well, I think
you
that
know,
was
it,
just I think that was just Storm Chaser superstition at that point. I mean, it's kind of hard when you're doing something that dangerous, like sea captains have their superstitions. I'm sure that's kind of what
I
was
mean,
going on
no,
there.
no doubt, but it's just I don't know. It always seemed weird.
Yeah, it was very strange because like Bill Paxton was always talking to the tornadoes like they could understand him.
It to me it was just very the tornadoes, man, they follow this one woman for no readily apparent reason, and I'm like, hey, but um,
You're in Tornado Alley.
she literally is a storm chaser, and she is in the worst area of the country if she wants to stay away from tornadoes.
Yeah, nobody ever considered that maybe the tornado is trying to get away from her. Like you think a tornado wants to hang out all day with one person? I don't think so. They got places to be.
Maybe Mother Nature just said, look, sorry for sucking your dad out of y'all's little storm basement, but stop following me, please.
I gave you a warning when you were a kid. I don't know why you have not heeded it.
It always just sat with me wrong, you know what I mean?
I never even thought about it like that. I don't know. I just got wrapped up in the storm chasing aspect of it.
It was always just a little weird
My
because
favorite.
it just came off as we're we're
Hippie.
gonna do this for a living, but then we're going to try to insinuate that no, it's not because we're literally paid to follow these things around that we're having to deal with this. Oh, no, no, no. Because we're going to basically insinuate that Mother Nature just hates this one woman. It never made sense to me. The only thing that I thought was hilarious was the bit about the cow.
My favorite thing about the movie is when they're getting chased down by the last F5 of the movie, or it was an F4, I don't know which one they said it was, but they're getting chased down with their last Dorothy unit, and a piece of a windmill hits Bill Paxton's truck, and there's a big crack in the windshield. The camera pans or goes into the cab view of the truck to look at their worried face and get some dialogue, and then it pans back out to see the tornado, and the window is fine. They go back into the truck, and then they go back outside to see more things getting torn up by this tornado, and the window's cracked again in like a span of like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was always just a little weird.
Continuity errors are one of my favorite things in the whole world, especially because they insist on having characters smoke on TV, especially. That's my favorite one. The guy will be taking a drag of like a full cigarette, and then they pan away from him, and then they pan back to the guy smoking, and he's already got that thing down to the filter and throwing it on the ground, and you're like, yo, that person said a sentence. What you chief down that whole cigarette in a sentence? You got a problem.
We're gonna take the quickest, longest, most just insane drag
You
of
hook
this one cigarette.
They hooked that cigarette up to a vacuum cleaner when you weren't looking.
It really seems that way, doesn't it? It's just we're going to make this one guy seem like he is the poster child for big tobacco.
I wonder if we can't find. Maybe that's what we should do for some IRL content. We got to find a guy that's already a smoker and see like how fast he can do it. Start a world championship.
Nah, see, you want to talk about movies where like the smoker energy was real. You got to watch the movie if you've never seen it called Thank You for Smoking because it's Aaron Eckhart, Two Face,
Yeah,
and he plays a guy that's basically like a spin artist, a spin doctor for big tobacco,
gotcha.
and like at one point in the movie he gets fucking kidnapped and like they stick a whole bunch of those like nicotine patches on him. And it's like, well, if smoking isn't that bad and nicotine isn't dangerous, then we're just gonna smack an entire case of these fucking nicotine patches on you. Surely it's not gonna be dangerous.
Well, it's
You know,
just
they,
like it's no different than Mad Men. If you've ever seen Mad Men,
yeah, but like the one thing that you would really like about it is the way that he teaches his son, how to debate is fucking amazing. It's not that these things are bad, it's that we have the free choice in a free country to make bad decisions. And that's why America is so amazing.
but all America, you can do whatever you want here.
Within reason.
Yeah, of course. We're starting to see a lot of limits getting hit recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I figure it's funnier to give Flame a heart attack by just like poking at it, but never actually saying anything, and then have
Well, since everyone can have the general same idea, AI bad, Did you
yeah,
see that video I sent you?
yeah. That was I would play that one, but there's too many bad words in that one and no
There,
string.
there's there's a couple of very, not okay, borderline what we like to call gamer words.
We'll just say that they're words you can't say on TV anymore.
Yeah, one of them very specifically.
Yeah, there's one of them you literally cannot say anywhere anymore for any reason, unless you're in Europe. Do your
I would
research. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Britain specifically.
Yeah, Britain specifically.
Britain specifically, and it's apparently their word for
Cigarettes.
a cigarette, a smoky treat.
Man, after this True Bants and after episode 42 airs, people are going to think, wow, these guys are sponsored by Big Tobacco.
No, we're not. We're not sponsored by Big Tobacco.
We want to be sponsored by nuclear energy, though. If you
I
guys.
don't. I don't even smoke. So.
Now, my parents used to. That's about as close as I got. But, yeah, I mean, if you run a nuclear power plant and you want us to spread the good word of nuclear power, we'll do that. We believe in nuclear power.
Oh, I believe in nuclear power all the way, man. It's safer, cleaner, better for the environment, believe it or not, than any of their so-called.
Yeah, you could. I mean, sure, you could go back in time and argue, oh, it was dangerous then because of the waste. Well, I have some good news for you. As of like 5 years ago, they can recycle the waste 5 times until it fits in a thimble. So at this point, there is no waste. And by the time you're going to get all of the waste in the world reduced to the size of a thimble, we'll be able to recycle that. So,
Well, my biggest beef with it is the hypocrisy of people who live in California
oh,
because
yeah.
they continue to lobby against and absolutely shit on nuclear power as a whole, not knowing that easily a third of their electricity is generated by Palo Verde
Generated by
Station,
it.
generated by Palo Verde Station in in southern Arizona. They just flat out refuse to believe, accept, or just, be okay in general with nuclear power. It's just very stupid. We're going to be against this thing because, we're afraid that it might cause some form of, potentially dangerous thing. And it's like, okay, tell me you don't understand what caused Chernobyl without telling me you don't understand what caused Chernobyl.
They were just trying to
Like
break records.
half the people that use 3 Mile Island as an example of what could go wrong with American nuclear power don't know where 3 Mile Island is, and they don't know what happened because 3 Mile Island was the biggest nothing burger to ever be cooked on the grill.
I got a fun fact about. Actually, no, this doesn't dox me at all. I can say this one. My grandpa was one of the people that helped clean that up.
Because like literally nothing happened in 3 Mile Island other than an obvious safety flaw that the company that built the reactors knew was a problem, but neglected to tell anybody about because they were the assholes and said, "Oh, it's fine. It'll be fine." A safety valve failed to shut off properly. That's literally all that happened.
Yep. And there was no dangerous effects, from what I've researched, it was just kind of mild. It was like,
The only
yeah,
the only thing that could have potentially happened had the problem not been diagnosed and basically almost immediately worked upon was, you know, the reactor may have had a bubble of gas in it that would have eventually caused a meltdown. But due to all the things that they were doing to, stop that from happening, it never happened. So, you know, but Chernobyl, but 3 Mile Island, but Fukushima. Fukushima was fucking built on like the worst thing you could put a reactor on, a fault line.
wasn't even their fault. It was just that was just, you know, that was
A
literally a natural disaster. Nothing could have been done about
fault,
it.
a fault line that got hit with an earthquake and a fucking tidal wave as a result of the earthquake. So yeah, it's
Yeah, what can you do? People gotta have something to be mad about. Why not? If people were suddenly, if we got rid of everything that made people angry in one snap of the finger, they'd still be mad that they had nothing to be mad about.
fucking die already, dude.
You good?
I'm fighting an enemy that has like immunity frames and it's getting annoying because he's got like this energy beam thing that he shoots out of his face and his entire ass body is immune except for the one glowy weak spot. There we go. Yeesh.
Sick.
And nobody's over here helping me, so
Oh no, why would they? Nobody helps anymore in games. I've learned, actually, no, Elden Ring's community is great for cooperation.
I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but I love that one sketch of Kai Cenat where he's fighting the demigod.
I still gotta see that. I forgot to look.
You got to go watch it, man. It's too funny.
There we go. That's Kai Cenat. Bam. Looking images
He's
up is awesome.
he's a good streamer, but he took that on the chin.
He's a good guy. Like, I think he's a genuinely nice person.
He took being slightly made fun of on the chin. So it was awfully good of him to not, pull a sneako and get all butthurt about it. If you remember all that.
Bam. He supports this lovely man. It's Shogun on Twitch.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, he apparently he's got a habit of Kai Cenat's got this habit where he basically just doom scrolls TikTok to find people streaming the game that he's currently playing. And when he finds them and he likes them, he will sit there and he will sit there and talk to them for a minute and get people all excited, interact with the fans and all that stuff, and then after that he drops like a galaxy gift, which is like $25 on TikTok, and then he moves on with his day. Every once in a while he'll pop back in. Yeah, it's the handsome lad with his beefy PC. It's Shogun on Twitch. you're into that sort of thing, he twerks for his subs, so go check that out.
I said another I said in another group I'm in, like there's a couple of those Twitch dudes who have like $10,000 gaming rigs. And it's like, man, I wish I had that kind of money. You know?
Yeah, the one that I'm looking at getting right now is probably going to, and only because of shipping. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so ridiculous. But the absolute highest tier that I can get right now would be probably 4,200 with shipping, which is ridiculous. But you know, at this point, I'm thinking about just pulling the trigger on it because I might start streaming when I every waking moment that I'm not doing work because I cannot find a job to save my ass no matter how many places I apply for, and I got to try to do something or I'm going to be in a bad spot.
Well, they say good things come to those who wait.
I suppose.
Well, I got about 18 minutes. I need to get Harley ready and take him down to the vet.
How's he doing?
He's doing all right. He's due for some shots.
Yeah,
He's gonna be upset with me.
I'm sure he will be. Uh, we're discover well, we haven't really discovered this. We kind of know it, but we're starting to see the extent of it. But Reaper absolutely adores television. Like he will just sit there and watch. There's Reaper on the screen now. He just sits there on the he just sits on the couch and watches TV with us. He absolutely loves TV. His favorite thing to see on TV is giraffes. And at first, I thought he was just a big Jeremy Clarkson fan, but it turns out it was because Jeremy Clarkson was talking and there was giraffes.
He must have been watching one of the Africa specials.
Yeah, my cat likes that he was driving fast because he liked the noises, and then he liked that there was a giraffe on the screen. That was his. So we thought that he was a big Jeremy Clarkson fan because he was just listening to Jeremy talk, and I didn't consider the cars or the giraffe on the screen. So we tried to have him watch Jeremy Clarkson's farm, and he didn't care.
I can't remember that kid's name, but
Caleb.
the guy, because it's like I haven't seen anything past season one, but the guy that works with him that has his own property,
Yeah,
like
that's Caleb.
that that's got to be one of the most patient individuals on the planet.
I would say so.
I mean, even though he loses his cool with him several times, he still comes back and works for him.
I loved when they were showing him how to plant a field, and Caleb's like, "You absolutely must plant the field. Like till the field exactly like this." And he's like, "Great, I will do that." And then like a couple hours passes, and Jeremy's left on his own, and he goes, "I think what Caleb is saying is bollocks." So he ruins everything.
He like doesn't have the lines done properly. Everything is wrong, and it's just like, man,
Uh,
whoever came up with that idea.
I love Jeremy, but when Hammond and May call him a big dumb ape, it's very true. Yeah, Top Gear or Grand Tour, whichever one you like the most, hosted by these three geniuses.
Well, the best compilation is when all of them are basically shouting at him.
Yeah,
Clock side.
he loves himself. Every time that he can work it in, my geniuses. If you listen, you can almost hear my genius, and it's like, dude, no.
Sometimes my genius is frightening. It almost scares me.
It is. It's absolutely terrifying.
All right, man. I got to be getting off.
No worries. Thanks for
Uh,
joining and saving at least the first 30 minutes of this thing.
It's all right. I'm just hoping this visit doesn't turn into something really super expensive.
Yeah, we're about a year from the last time that happened.
Well, this is just for his usual shots, heartworm and all that stuff.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I have.
Maybe you'll maybe you'll crap a golden nugget or something for you.
Man, I need it.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to convince the missus to come down to Colorado.
Well, all the luck to you.
Colorado's expensive as shit, but it's cool.
All right, hang on, quit tap dancing. I'm gonna let
Oh,
you on in a second.
he's having fun.
Yeah, I gotta be jumping, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
That was the space trucker. Now you gotta sit with me for 30 minutes. Maybe we could just sit here quietly and stare at the Top Gear guys. No, like I said at the beginning of this thing, I went for about 30 minutes recording an episode and I think I did terrible. I made the mistake of assuming that people were going to be on, and they weren't. Like, Flame has work, and, now Trucker's going to the vet for Harley, not for him. So I didn't prepare anything to talk about. But I've been having fun playing Elden Ring, so I think I might go and do that in a minute. I hope you guys like True Bants. I like True Bants. It's my baby. I own True Bants. True Bants is all me. Uh, what was I gonna say? Feel free to use the comment section of True Bants as like a dumpster. Just put whatever you want on there. Maybe it'll give us something to talk about in the future. Whatever you want. Maybe we can gauge what we can and cannot talk about on this channel from you guys. We'll let you guys decide, what's going too far sometimes. I mean, we're not going to 100% listen to you. We're our own people, but, if you don't mind certain topics being discussed, we can talk about them. I think that's a nice thing to do, maybe. Gonna pop in another piece of gum. I bought a bunch of Trident gum because it was on sale and it's kind of good. And I do mean kinda. I like extra better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna torture you guys. I tortured myself for 30 minutes before I got Trucker on. I got rid of that awful episode. This is technically episode 11, part 2, but we're just not doing this anymore. I think next time I'm going to prepare a list of topics just in case I end up alone, and then I will come back better and stronger. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of True Bants. It's short, but we're trying to get these out every week. Not every one of them can be as spectacular as the one before. Go check out some other channels like The Unexpectables. It's Shogun on Twitch. Voice Critical. Not that he needs to plug, but go check him out. He's entertaining. A little bit nuts, but entertaining. Like I say pretty often, if you want to get your start in gunsmithing, go check out SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. Have a good one. Adios.